Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're back here in the garage, of course, working on the M2. Now, what we're gonna be actually doing in today's video is a little bit of an interior mod. So I've been waiting about 6 weeks for this particular mod, and what that is a brand new steering wheel from AutoID. It's a full Alcantara steering wheel, and like the quality is perfect. I didn't want to go the route of like the M Performance one with all the lights on it, just something that's not for me at all. I think this looks a little bit more refined, and it kind of matches the Alcantara center armrest that we also put into the car. So let's go ahead and hop over to the table. I'll show you exactly what the wheel looks like, and again, it's freaking amazing. But we're also going to be installing some new paddle shifters, so let's go ahead and check that stuff out right now. So real quick, before we jump on the table and we check out that stuff, I just kind of wanted to give you guys a glimpse of what we have going on to the car this weekend. So that video should be coming soon. And you might think I'm crazy because I already made the video installing the front mounted intakes on the M2. However, Project Gamma did reach out to me. They sent out this beautiful forged carbon intake. So we're gonna be putting that on. Then we've of course got the downpipes there. And then we got the single-sided mid pipe back there as well. Super excited to get that stuff on. So definitely stay tuned for all those mods. All right, so let's check out this new steering wheel here. Like I said in the beginning of the video, it's from a company called AutoID. It's the same company that I got the rear spoiler from on the M2. Now, like I said, this is something that took me about 6 weeks to get, but based on the quality, I think it was well worth the wait. This is something that's super pricey. I'll link it down below in the description if you guys want to take a look at it. By no means is this a sponsored video or anything like that, but check this thing out. Full Alcantara steering wheel. It looks really good. This is specifically for you guys with the active cruise control, since we don't have that on the M2. We don't have to worry about that, but you could just see the quality in the M Performance colored stitching all the way around it. So I'm super excited to get this installed. It's super comfortable. And what I like about it is it's basically the same as factory. It's just wrapped in Alcantara. Like I said, I think it will match really well with the center armrest that we installed, the M Performance one. That's all Alcantara as well. We're gonna be getting that installed. And then while we're there, we're also gonna be installing these JQ Werks paddle shifters. And if you've experienced any of the G8X platforms like paddle shifters, you understand that they're not super engaging and they're not very clicky or satisfying when you actually use them. So we have purchased these, and again, the quality on these guys is pretty amazing. So all carbon fiber paddles, but just listen to how this sounds. So super excited to go ahead and get these on the car as well. And it was one of those things where I was like, well, I'm already changing the steering wheel, might as well go ahead and take care of the paddle shifters while we're there. These guys I got from R44 Performance. They're not inexpensive by any means. If you guys want to check it out for yourself, I will go ahead and link this stuff down below in the description for you. Let's go ahead and jump into the car and let's get the factory steering wheel off, so that way we can get it out, because we have to swap all the factory components from the factory wheel to the new wheel, so it's a little bit of a labor-intensive process. So let's jump into that step one now. All right, so the very first thing that you're going to want to do is go ahead and just disconnect the negative battery cable here. It's just one 10 mil. Once that's disconnected, I always put a rag under there, so that way it doesn't make any contact with the battery again. Inside of the car, the first thing we need to do is get the factory airbag out. And as you can see, that little hole right there is where we need to go ahead and fit a screwdriver in. There's one on each side. And what you do is you just fit a screwdriver in there. You find there's a little tension spring in there. Push on that tension spring, and then it will allow you to pull out one side, and then you just do the other side. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Now that we have the airbag loose, you can just drop it down here, and then we're gonna want to disconnect the actual airbag from right there. Took a little flathead, got in there, got this little clip unclipped. So you just place it on this top part here. Then you can go ahead and take out the factory airbag. Now that we have everything unplugged, we can go ahead and get this guy out. This bolt is torqued on there pretty good, so you might need a little bit of a breaker bar to go ahead and get that off there. So just like that, pull the wheel off, and now we got to get all of these internals out of this wheel and onto the new wheel. So let's go ahead and jump into that now. Getting into removing a lot of this stuff, the first thing that we want to do is get rid of these paddle shifters, and you'll see these blue clips in here, one on either side. First, we need to go ahead and pop those guys up, and then we will be able to get to some T20s under there that will actually release the paddle shifters. You can see that that pops up, and there's a little T20 underneath it. That is going to be what we need to take out. We got one paddle shifter off. These clips are a little bit of a pain to get out, but just take your time. So we got this guy disconnected. Now we'll just get that Torx 20 in there. Cool. Get that screw out of there. And we can go ahead and pull this guy out from the back. There's that paddle. Now, go ahead and turn the wheel over, and you'll see some more Torx 20s on each side that were covered by the paddle shifter. So we'll go ahead and pop those guys out too. Next, I just took a trim tool, and I started down here at the bottom, but you could just pull this up. It's just held in with clips. And then once this is up, there should be that little black connector there that we need to undo. All right. So there you have it. This is this whole piece off. Now we can move on to the next part. So now we can get rid of all these screws. So 1, 2, 3, 4, all 3 of these in the middle, and then these 2 down here that kind of hold this vibrator mechanism on there. Now I just took a little trim tool, and you go around and you can pop off all this plastic here. So there's also a little ground here that is connected right there. You just want to get that trim tool underneath there, pop it out, and then you get to a point where then you can go ahead and hopefully just lift everything up out of here, just like that. So still all in one piece, and that is the stock wheel there. So let's go ahead and get to putting that stuff into the new wheel. So now we'll go ahead and get this trim piece back in. So we're gonna start by making sure that we plug this guy back into it. All right, so everything is back installed on this side other than the paddle shifters, but we got this cover sitting nice and flush. It's all buttoned up, everything's tight. So now what we're gonna do is go ahead and flip this guy back over and install these T20s before we put the paddle shifters back into place. And be very careful not to tighten these guys too much, just because it's copper in there. Just enough. Boom. Cool, so just like that, now we can move on to installing these new magnetic paddle shifters. All right, so we have one of them in and all buttoned up. Plugged back in, sounds amazing. So these guys actually did come with replacement screws. So you want to be using these ones. I mean, if you're installing the stock ones, you would obviously use the stock hardware. All right guys, so we have everything back together, looking good, sitting flush. Paddle shifters work. Man, those sound so good. M1, M2, all nice and tight. So let's go ahead and get this guy back installed into the car. Back in the car, we got this steering wheel all installed. This center is torqued down to spec. I think it was 45 foot-pounds or 62 Newton meters. But man, these sound great. Looks really, really good and matches that center console. Let's go ahead and get that airbag back in. Airbag is back installed into the car. Looks really, really good. Again, like I said, matches that center console. Looks really good. And now I'm gonna go ahead and plug the battery back in and make sure everything's working. So guys, just editing this video really quick, and I did want to mention that after I went ahead and reinstalled the steering wheel, I did have like a, not like a check engine light, but a maintenance light come on. And what it said was that I was having a headrest adjustment malfunction. And what I ended up having to do is just position the automatic headrest all the way in the down position. I don't know if it needed to relearn it or if that's somehow connected to the airbags within the car. But if that comes up, all you have to do is just move the headrest adjustment all the way down, and then that should go away. At least it did for me, but I just wanted to mention that for you. Let's get back to the video. Guys, so there we have it. The steering wheel and paddle shifters are installed. Again, I'm gonna leave links to all that stuff down below in the description if you wanna check it out for yourself. Like I said, it is kind of expensive. It's more on the pricey side. And as it pertains to the install, by no means was this something that was very intuitive or pretty easy to do. It probably took me about 2 hours. Now granted, I'm filming and doing stuff like that, so just take that into account, but I'm super happy with the way that the AutoID Alcantara steering wheel and the JQ Werks paddle shifters came out. Definitely do let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section of this video. Other than that, definitely stay tuned to the channel because all that stuff over in the corner, so down pipes, mid pipes, intakes, they're all going on the car this weekend because it's 4th of July. So having a good friend of mine come over and he's gonna help me do that install. It's probably gonna take all day. I'm gonna try to record it and give you guys an install video to the best of my ability. But that being said, guys, I hope you got value out of today's video, and I hope that this quick little video provides you with enough information if you choose to change your factory steering wheel to something more aftermarket, that this video provides you with a solid resource. And if it does, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and we will catch you on the next one.